Want to know the real reason billionaires keep getting richer while you're stuck refreshing your bank app to see if your paycheck hit yet? It's not luck. It's not genius. It's not even crypto. It's boring habits. Seriously. Boring. Like, I'd rather watch paint dry. Boring. But guess what? That paint turns into gold. And my goal for this video is to completely break down these 15 boring billionaire habits that might not get you likes on Instagram, but could absolutely get you freedom for life. So if you're waiting for a get-rich-quick secret that involves yachts, private jets, or a $500 morning routine involving elk meat and cold plunges, this ain't it. This is the stuff billionaires do every single day, quietly, repeatedly. And yeah, it builds empires. Now I already see people in the comments saying things like, boring habits? I'm trying to get rich, not meditate on a mountain. But please just hear me out, because these are the exact small, repeatable behaviors that look ordinary, but compound like crazy over time. So without wasting any more time, let's dive in. Habit number 1, they calendar like psychopaths, aka time blocking like their lives depend on it. Let's start with this one because honestly, it's aggressively unsexy. Billionaires treat time like it's more valuable than money, because it is. While the rest of us are winging it, checking emails while brushing our teeth and scrolling TikTok in meetings, billionaires have already scheduled every block of their day like it's a NASA launch. Deep work, workout, thinking time, even naps, scheduled. Why? Because random schedules equals random outcomes, and billionaires don't leave wealth building to chance. But once the calendar is in place, what exactly are they scheduling in? Spoiler alert, it's not brunch. Habit number 2, they read more than they talk. All right, now brace yourself. Here's a stat no one likes. The average CEO reads 50 books a year. The average broke guy scrolls Instagram quotes about books. Reading is the ultimate legal cheat code. It's like downloading the thoughts of the most brilliant minds in history for free, without a single college debt collector in sight. Warren Buffett said he spends 80% of his day reading. Mark Cuban, I read 3 hours a day. You read one tweet, got bored, and checked your DoorDash ETA. If you want billionaire-level thinking, you need billionaire-level input. Books are the easiest brain upgrade you're ignoring. But what good is all that knowledge if your body taps out before your bank account levels up? Habit number 3, they exercise like it's a board meeting. Yes, billionaires work out. And no, it's not just vanity, it's cognitive performance insurance. Jeff Bezos lifts. Richard Branson swears exercise is his #1 productivity hack. Mark Zuckerberg literally does jujitsu. You think they're trying to impress someone? No. They're optimizing for energy, clarity, and longevity. Because guess what? It's hard to build an empire if you're too tired to think past lunchtime. And it's not about a six-pack. It's about mental stamina, emotional stability, and showing up like a beast when everyone else is fading. But while they lift weights for energy, billionaires also lift another muscle most people ignore entirely. Habit number 4, they practice boring self-awareness. Okay, now this one stings because it's personal for me and kind of hard for me to touch on, but it's something you need to know. And no, this isn't some Zen cliche. Self-awareness is the ultimate money skill. You can't fix what you won't face. And billionaires, they face everything. They know what triggers their bad decisions, what fuels their best ones, when to pivot, when to shut up and listen. They don't just chase the bag. They ask, why do I want this? Does this align with my long-term mission? It sounds deep, but really it's just not lying to yourself. And most people, they're out here lying professionally. And please, I have to pause the video right now and explain something to you. Most people will watch these YouTube videos and don't apply anything I'm telling you. And it's not just this video. We've created an entire playlist that breaks down exactly what financial freedom is really about. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and consider becoming a member to stay updated on all upcoming videos. Okay, now once you're self-aware, you start noticing something funny about everyone else, especially how they spend their money. Habit number 5, they live like they're still broke. All right, pay attention, because this is the one that'll hurt your ego. Billionaires buy assets, not Gucci belts. They live modestly, even when they don't have to. Warren Buffett still lives in the same house he bought in 1958. Mark Zuckerberg wears the same gray shirt daily, and you're out here financing Yeezys to look like a rapper who's actually bankrupt. The rich aren't quiet because they're cheap. They're quiet because they understand stealth wealth is safer, smarter, and longer lasting. But don't confuse living cheap with being lazy. Because when it comes to habit number 6, billionaires do the boring work no one sees. Habit number 6, they track their money like FBI agents. You ever open your banking app and feel like you're reading ancient hieroglyphics? Wait, who's Apple billing? Why do I have 3 Uber Eats charges today? Did I really spend $192 at Target? What even is Target anymore? That's the financial strategy of the average person. Vague memory, blind swipes, and hope. You know, like how your coffee budget mysteriously evaporates $300 a month. These habits work the same way, except instead of bleeding you dry, they print money slowly, quietly, and forever. Billionaires? They don't guess. They track every single dollar like it's under federal investigation. Every expense has a purpose. Every investment has a reason. Nothing slips through the cracks because the cracks are where your wealth silently bleeds to death. They run monthly P&Ls like they're a business because they are the business. Even when they're worth millions, they're checking where's my money flowing, what's earning, what's burning, which assets are growing and which ones are freeloading. Why? Because wealth doesn't disappear in big chunks. It dissolves through tiny leaks. Daily coffee splurges, unused subscriptions, late fees, dumb flexes, the financial version of death by 1,000 cuts. So they plug the leaks. And guess what happens? Their money starts compounding instead of disappearing. It's not sexy, it's not flashy, it's not Instagrammable, but it's how you go from I can't afford that to I don't even think about money anymore. And if that's not power, what is? So now they know where their money is going, but what about where their mind is going? Habit number 7, they think before they react. Here's a hot take, and when you stop and really think about it, most people are just reacting through life. News headline, panic, market dip, sell everything, friend bought a car, time to flex on Instagram. But billionaires? They pause, they observe. Then they make calculated, emotionless moves. They don't play checkers, they play chess with noise-canceling headphones on. They ask, what's the actual upside here? Who benefits if I jump into this? Is this bait or opportunity? And that difference, that pause, that thought, it's worth billions. But while everyone's chasing more, billionaires do something unusual next. Habit number 8, they ruthlessly eliminate non-essentials. Let's be real. Most people are drowning in digital junk, emotional clutter, and $17 impulse buys they forgot they made. Billionaires? They Marie Kondo their entire life with a chainsaw. Every possession, subscription, meeting, or commitment goes through the same mental filter. Is this helping me grow, or is it just noise? Steve Jobs wore the same black turtleneck every day, not because he loved cosplay, but because fewer choices equal more focus. Billionaires cut ruthlessly. One outfit instead of 10. One priority instead of 5. One goal instead of 15 competing side quests. And no, this isn't about being cheap or minimalist just for the aesthetic. It's about protecting their most valuable currency, clarity. Because the more clutter you have, physically, mentally, digitally, the more friction you create, and friction kills momentum. That's why the rich don't just clean their desks, they clean their calendar, their inbox, their friend circle, even their thoughts. Elimination is the gateway drug to execution. And the people who don't have time to build wealth, they're often buried under 67 tabs, 24 group chats, and a to-do list that's 90% distractions disguised as productivity. So billionaires strip it all back. Simple, focused, lethal. Speaking of leverage, what's the most powerful form of it billionaires use that most people ignore entirely? Habit number 9, they master the art of saying no. Here's a billionaire truth bomb. Every yes costs you something. Time, energy, focus, money. Every time you say yes to something random, you're saying no to something important. Billionaires don't just manage their money. They defend their attention like it's Fort Knox. They say no to unnecessary meetings, pointless projects, clout-chasing partnerships, friends' weird NFT pitch at brunch. Warren Buffett once said, "The difference between successful people and really successful people is that really successful people say no to almost everything." Think about that the next time someone asks you to go out for just one drink. Now, while they're saying no to distractions, they're saying yes to something even more powerful, automation. Habit number 10, they automate the boring stuff. Let's be real. Billionaires aren't manually paying bills or tracking spreadsheets every Sunday night while eating cereal in their pajamas. They automate anything that doesn't need their brain. Investments, auto-transferred, savings, scheduled, bills, set it and forget it. Business systems, delegated and digitized. They know that energy is limited. So instead of wasting brain cells on repetitive tasks, they free up space for million-dollar decisions. And you're still manually renewing your Netflix subscription while trying to manifest wealth. Automation is the quiet weapon of the rich. It removes friction, builds consistency, and, best of all, it works while you sleep. And speaking of consistency, let's talk about the one habit billionaires never skip, even if the market crashes and Twitter's on fire. Habit number 11. They reflect daily. No, seriously, this one sounds like fluff, until you realize it's how billionaires fix problems before they even exist. Reflection isn't journaling about your feelings, unless that's your thing. It's asking smart questions. What worked today? What didn't? What will I change tomorrow? Am I still aligned with my goals? Ray Dalio built an entire hedge fund culture around radical reflection. Naval Ravikant reflects daily. Most billionaires do, because action without reflection equals chaos. Reflection turns mistakes into playbooks. You don't need a leather-bound notebook, just 10 minutes to review your game film like a world-class athlete. And after reflecting, they double down on one thing most people never do consistently. Habit number 12. They invest before they feel ready. You think billionaires wait for the perfect time, the perfect market, the perfect app? Nope. They invest early, often, and without perfect conditions. Oh, and let's get one thing straight. Billionaires don't wait for the stars to align before they make moves. They invest while everyone else is still Googling, "Is now a good time to invest?" Basically, it goes like this. Most people delay investing because they're scared. They want more research, more savings, more confidence, more signs from the universe. But billionaires, they know action beats perfection, especially when it comes to money. They get in the game early because the real flex isn't timing the market, it's time in the market. Think of investing like planting a tree. The best time, 10 years ago. The second best time, right now. The worst time, when you feel ready. Because spoiler, you never will. They invest in stocks, real estate, businesses, often before they feel 100% prepared. Because they trust the process, not the perfect moment. And they're not gambling. They're learning by doing. They use starter capital as tuition, not as a lottery ticket. Meanwhile, broke people sit on the sidelines with analysis paralysis, watching TikToks about investing instead of actually investing. Billionaires know, waiting for perfect equals missing opportunity. They start small, stay consistent, and stack wins over time. Because momentum, not motivation, builds wealth. But while they're investing outwardly, they're also investing in something even more valuable than stocks or real estate. Habit number 13. They build power relationships quietly. This is the mistake I see hundreds of people making, and it's quite sad if you ask me. It's like the average person networks like a walking LinkedIn ad. Billionaires? They build deep relationships behind closed doors. They invest in mentors, collaborators, strategic allies, people who open doors, not drain energy. They're not collecting business cards, they're building empires through trust, value, and alignment. Jeff Bezos didn't build Amazon alone, neither did Elon, or Oprah, or Buffett. Every billionaire has a power circle, and they cultivated it long before they were rich. So if you're spending all your time grinding solo, you're playing the long game alone. And if you think that sounds strategic, wait till you see how billionaires approach failure. Habit number 14. They embrace failure like it's a fitness plan. To be honest, most people treat failure like it's the end of the movie. Billionaires, they treat it like leg day. Painful, brutal, necessary, and the key to long-term growth. Here's the difference. When average folks fail, they spiral. When billionaires fail, they analyze. They study their mistakes like championship athletes watch game tape. They don't cry over losses, they dissect them. Elon Musk had multiple rockets explode on national television. Jeff Bezos once lost $170 million on a failed phone that no one even remembers. Sarah Blakely, the founder of Spanx, said her dad literally encouraged her to celebrate failure at the dinner table growing up. Why? Because failure means you're trying something hard enough to matter. Billionaires don't attach failure to their identity, they attach it to data. They ask, what did this teach me? Where did the system break? How do I adjust and try again? Smarter. Think about it like this. Every failure is a financial gym session, and the people afraid to fail, they're skipping the workouts and wondering why they never get strong. Failure isn't the enemy. Comfort is. And billionaires? They don't get rich by staying comfortable. They get rich by being uncomfortable on purpose. And all of this leads to the final, most boring billionaire habit of all. The one that makes the other 14 work like clockwork. Habit 15. They stay calm in a world that panics. Markets crash, news breaks, TikTok freaks out. Welcome to the real world. And while everyone else is screaming into the void, billionaires stay calm. They know that emotions are expensive. Panic equals bad decisions. Desperation equals bad deals. FOMO equals buying high, selling low. Calm is a competitive advantage because when everyone else is reacting, the calm ones are positioning. They breathe, analyze, zoom out, and play the long game. Not because they're emotionless, but because they've trained themselves to separate feelings from actions. And that kind of mental clarity, it's worth more than a million TikTok hot takes. So what did we learn about these boring habits today? They're boring, they're repetitive, and they work like magic over time. Because building wealth isn't about hype, it's about quiet discipline, done consistently. If this video opened your eyes to even one habit you're not doing yet, comment the words "rich habits only" so I know who's all serious. Pick one, just one. Start today, repeat it tomorrow. Track it for 30 days. Remember, boring habits build insane wealth if you're consistent enough to stay boring. And if you're serious about leveling up your money game, there's actually one mistake that is literally destroying your finances, and it's something you need to understand. We break it down in this next video. Just click the video on the screen, and we'll see you in the next one.